So then, something happened live on Kick, and it was crazy. Okay, and it's relevant in the live space. And this guy called Some Ordinary Gammers, he's making a video about it, so I could we could look at it and have context, because I can't build it on the fly, and I could give more context behind it at the same time. Cool Pog. Remember to like, subscribe, bell, click, donate organ, donate eyes, love, care, and favorite plus W. Give blood. Yeah. Okay.
Into one of the more darker spirals that I've seen on the internet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a couple weeks ago, I made a video in regards to Fousey Tube. All right, you know, it was an off-the-cuff video. I was in my car because
I remember that
made me so
I was there.
Where this, like, you know,
it's
one time.
See, chat. And if you chat, guys, it's a different time in that video, chat, because it's raining outside, and now he's not in the car and it's not raining. Two different scenarios. He's talking about it right now.
YouTuber, very, very large at the time. You know, Fousey Tube's been around forever, okay? I don't have to give any introductions.
Gotcha.
If you've been on YouTube as long as I have, you recognize the name Fousey Tube back in the days of social experiments, pranks,
early,
you know,
early day prank YouTuber, okay? Also, one of the people who started liking, I think, allegedly, the fake pranks, which ended up ruining the whole prank kind of industry / sphere, which was a big problem. But, I mean, it's the hustle. It's how the internet moves, and you can't blame one person for that. They all did it, so it is what it is.
Muslim vlogs. Now you might recognize him as a 24/7 IRL live streamer. Now, IRL live streaming is like a powder keg, and it actually, best example, it's a time bomb, okay? Anytime somebody IRL...
It's a time bomb because of expectations of content that ramp up in live, right? And dopamine chasing that literally just ramps up and never stops. And at one point, it's just gonna blow up. It doesn't matter what happens. And when you chase the high, it'll just fucking blow up. Guys, I'm not overreacting. This is very important to understand. This is why being a full-time IRL streamer is degenerate, because you're chasing content in a way that becomes unhealthy, and it always ends up blowing up.
It's literally a time bomb waiting to go off. And let me tell you something about bombs. You don't want to be around them when they're about to go boom. Now, I think the best example, if you want to know more about the airport rizzing incident, where Fousey Tube interacts with a drunk girl who expresses how she was a victim of human trafficking, you know, truly charming, brilliant, halal behavior, if you will. One of the best, you know, recaps you could see is from my podcast co-host, Oompaville, who actually discussed this in his own video.
He needs to spend a lot more time in therapy and get the f off the internet. Log off, in my opinion. Come on, man.
You know what? Can I be honest with you? Never say this shit like that. So I don't know who this guy is on my screen. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna do this. In my opinion, it's bad to make conclusion of somebody's mental state and then do some weird, like, oh, yo, spend time in therapy, do this or that. I think it's awful. I am gonna say it. I don't like making conclusions about people's mentals and give them some weird half advice / criticism / hate through prescribing them to more therapy or shit like that. You don't know what they go through and what they do for themselves and how much therapy that they do. You just don't know. You're making assumptions and you're being a jackass. Don't do that.
Man, come on, man. Or at least use the influence for good. I just see this getting way, way worse. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, boy, Caleb, if only you knew how on the money you actually were. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Fousey Tube has been an interest to me because ever since the airport incident, Fousey...
Oh, guys, he was right on the money. He was right about it. That's crazy, dude. He predicted that it would get worse. That's insane. Dude, imagine for all the people that they were wrong about. All the damage you're causing, the things you're saying. It's just stupid. It's not worth it. Don't fuck with people's mental for no reason, okay? It's irrelevant.
Fousey Tube has been running this insane subathon where the viewer counts have been going up insanely, from 10,000 live viewers to 20 to 30 to 40, all the way to just a couple hours ago when it reached 70,000
Of course I'm right. Chess is dumb.
And this is where Fousey Tube self-swatted himself. Now, to understand, Fousey Tube's not all the way there. For instance, if you want to see some quick clips of him in Vegas, where he ended up getting kicked out of an MGM Grand Casino and pretty much banned, I guess you could say down the strip, if you will, too. Not allowed to gamble in anything in Las Venturas anymore. Surprise, surprise. This is exactly what his time was like in Vegas.
You guys...
Fuck all...
Yusuf!
33-year-old man running into traffic, by the way, too.
Yo, record this.
I didn't see that.
We're leaving.
Shut your dumb ass up. Or what? What? You put your hands on me, let me sue your ass. Got the best lawyers in the game, cousin. You and your minimum wage job. You and your minimum wage job, you broke.
Shitting on somebody for their minimum wage job.
Okay.
Real humble and...
Okay. I guess I find it quite interesting that this guy's video, guys, this Mutta guy, is it Mutta? This Mutta guy, the first thing to call out in the whole interaction is the minimum wage poor shaming. Brother, there's a lot going on in this video. I don't think it's the first thing I would jump to, but I never did. I'll just let it go.
Islamic friend.
I'll let it go for now.
Besides the fact that he's got a Raptors jersey on, and I feel really ashamed to be a Torontonian right now, the reality of it is that this is really, really bad behavior. Okay,
Yes.
This is not just bad behavior.
Guys,
This is
guys, I'm not being, guys, you're so fucking dumb. Somebody's calling it out, chat, guys. If you guys see something, like if you guys see a robbery happen and some guy go in and break things in and then he starts stealing it, right? And he's posing and he's like, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Is he really wearing white socks with Crocs? Like, geez, we talking about that first before the robbery? Like, bro, it's just, it's a matter of priority, dude. It's what I'm saying. It.
Clout, the slightest bit of fame. Fousey
You're
is
missing
the
the
kind of guy where
point.
if you give him just an ounce of clout and a little bit of money, he goes insane. The ego goes through the roof. Now, in the last couple hours, FouseyTube has been doing some streams, or running a stream where he ended up getting kicked out of an Airbnb, fired a majority of his staff, and burned pretty much every bridge that he can. Now, to understand, FouseyTube has manic episodes. He has a mental disorder. Now, again, while he has a mental disorder, I'll be the first one to just say it, that just because you have mental issues doesn't mean that you can just use it as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Defense card whenever you feel like it, and generally get to be an asshole.
This is true on both ways. It's not a point of defense of it's why I did this, right? But it's also not a point of attack on the why you're gonna say, oh, somebody did this because of that, right? So if you're going to acknowledge that it's something cannot be used as a defense, you can also acknowledge you cannot use it as an attack. Both are equally right in this situation.
Everyone. If you're not really going out of your way to proactively fix up your mental health, then you also can't be using it as a badge of victimization. Anytime you do some shitty behavior, people call you out, and then you're going to immediately say, oh, but I'm mentally ill. No, you're not really doing anything to fix it. Instead of checking into a mental health ward, he decides to go to Miami, where he meets up with Sneeko, Aiden Ross, all those fellas. And, it gets even wilder, because during the night, he started to get into fights, literally performing actual assaults on camera.
Yeah.
You're so perfect.
That was insane.
I think you're perfect. You're not. You're far from perfect. You got a up ass too.
I think I'm perfect.
Yeah, that's a really good dude. Going up and assaulting a guy? Come on now.
Oh, that's just not...
Do that.
I think I'm perfect. I just prayed and cried to Allah and asked him for forgiveness for all my shortcomings and sins. Respect your elders.
Yeah, Allah Ta'ala also tells you to keep your anger in check too, which that wasn't in check at all. Here's another clip where he attacks another YouTuber that I just found out existed today, Jack Doherty. Watch this one.
Yo, you're a little.
That's just so weird, to be honest. I mean, I'm reacting, it's just weird,
I'm beta.
I'm actually 33 years old. And yo, get me some water bottles, Sean.
You're lucky I made friends with your security.
Hey, now we can't bust. There's a whole.
Yeah, you get invited to a dude's house, throw water at him, he throws water back, and then your next response is to assault the guy.
Chat, how old is the little guy? How old is the small? How long? 19, okay, yeah.
You're lucky I made friends with your security.
Hey, now we can't bust. There's a whole.
Yeah, you get invited to a dude's house, throw water at him, he throws water back, and then your next response is to assault the guy. Yeah, that's gonna go real well. But of course, FouseyTube was kind of on his way to evading law enforcement throughout the night until this situation kicked in. And this is where things get really wild. So during the night, FouseyTube had got kicked out of his Airbnb, somewhere to the point where his $77 million kick deal, again, that number was pulled out of somebody's asshole, was
it's always...
So as he got kicked out of an Airbnb, he checked into a local hotel. Now, in this situation, I want to add some context. During this hotel moment, he was getting...
Fousey was also spitting on Jack, Dr. T, did 3 times and peed on his lawn. I mean, yeah, the whole thing is a disaster, right? But you can classify most of it as like for content until somebody takes it too far and the intent becomes weird. So of course you should never assault anybody, right? But there are some instances, right, where you're gonna play, guys, this is not an opinion, this is a fact, okay? I'll tell you a fact. Listen to me very carefully before you start being dumbasses in chat. Listen to my full take, okay? In content, sometimes I'm gonna be the boring guy and say it, okay? You're going to push and pull a little bit off the limits and see what happens, right? And people can play into it or not, and try to gauge your what you do based off of the reaction, and you can play by ear in order to enhance the content, okay? And one of the things like that, right? To stick for something a bit lighter, right? When me and Jesse fought on stream, right? You know, I know what's happening, right? I played along with it. We had some fun. Whatever the fuck, right? It's like a skit, right? Sometimes the skit can look real or look fake. In this instance, right? It's out of pocket. It's out of pocket. And then you think maybe perhaps they can kind of reel it back, or maybe they can make it enough for content and play long, but it wasn't, right? Why am I saying this? I don't know. But still.
Into some wild rants. He was getting angry. He had a manic episode. And in this entire situation, this YouTuber known as Ganville, a Twitch or Kick streamer, former Kick streamer, because he ended up actually getting banned because this idiot ended up calling up FouseyTube's family and pretty much harassing them, which I want to just remind you is 1000% never okay. This idiot is in the wrong. He is a troll and one of the worst kinds of troll possible. He ended up basically threatening FouseyTube. FouseyTube threatened him back physically. And eventually they started throwing out each other's addresses. And he basically told FouseyTube to come to his address and, you know, cause some harm. Because as they were in Florida, it's a stand your ground state. This guy could absolutely blow away Fousey, okay? Like, it would be a wild situation had that happen. Now, in a normal situation, and I've been on the internet a long time too, I've gotten fucked up calls. You're never supposed to escalate. Usually hang it up right there. It's a troll. They're not going to go forward as long as you don't go forward or give a reaction. Because Fousey was live streaming, here is the reaction.
What'd you say?
Yo, I'm Gamble. I'm the guy that was calling your mom and sister and brother and shit. I think one of your friends got me banned on Kick.
I swear to God, you pull up to my house right now, I'll stick a knife 10 feet in your...
All right, let's stop right there. Jesus Christ, I don't want to get caught strays here legally. Yeah, you never threaten somebody. You just hang up the phone right there and call it a day. You've been on the internet as long as I have, Fousey, even longer. You know damn well never to engage with the troll and do this. Now, I don't know if this was mania kicking in or whether the fact that he wanted a clip, because what you're about to see next is insane.
Well, I mean... Okay, well, I think throughout his streams, we've seen a lot that he tries to No. I'm not defending anything. I'm just telling you. I'm not gonna give a point of defense. I think he's been more often than not, right, trying to show like tough guy attitude. And whenever somebody does something wrong, instead of like going away, it seems like he always kind of matches or one-ups that sort of interaction. It kind of rolls back into a snowball. Whether you think that's right or wrong, you can understand that in these interactions, he has a pattern of making the snowball continue to roll. And in this instance, I think he makes the ball continue to roll.
I want to show you my collection.
Yo, I just got a text. Yo, how the f your management even let this happen to you? Yo, say it one more. Say it one more time. Say it one more time. We're coming. Say it one more time.
So basically this idiot, this troll gives his address and basically tells Fousey to pull up. He's got an entire collection of what I assume are firearms, right? And because Florida is a stand your ground state, his intention is to kill FouseyTube if he shows up to the house. Now in this situation, again, may I remind you, never escalate, hang up the phone.
Chat, guys, if you're legally dumb and don't know a lot about this, okay, I'm just gonna say, stand your ground, and all these laws are pretty complicated, and the way they're applied in the real world are pretty complicated. It's not that simple. It's just not. You guys say, says you. I know a lot about this shit, okay? I lived under threats for fucking years, and I know almost everything there is to know about these things and how they apply in the real world, okay? Not some, guys, stand your ground, I'm gonna do this shit. It's not like that.
And just don't go. Go to bed. Go do something else. So now Fousey does what I like to call the self-swatting. And I swear to God, it's the first time throughout my entire fucking career on the internet, throughout my entire time looking at wild shit on the internet, that I've actually seen something this wild and stupid.
Here, calm down, bro.
Ma'am, my life is in danger.
Intercontinental Miami.
I'm in the Intercontinental.
Give me the phone, man. Give me the phone. You gotta calm down, bro.
No, dog.
Sit down and calm down. Relax. I'm gonna.
Oh, because a guy told me I'm gonna die tonight. You want me to relax?
Yo, sit down and let me give her the address. She's trying to get the.
Fousey is on a call with 911 operators, okay? And the last thing you want to do with law enforcement is start screaming over on their on the phone. That's never okay.
Send the cops. Send the cops. There's a gun to my head right now. There's a gun to my head. Help, ma'am, he left. Ma'am, he left. There's a gun to my head. Help, get them. Help, bye. Ma'am, Intercontinental, what's my room number?
So in hindsight, right? Any streaming service, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, right? I think the learning curve here was that at this point, they should have been pulled the plug instantly. Okay, because at that point, you know, earlier when he was throwing the water around, you can make an argument that maybe it was for content, and as a platform, you don't know. You can't know that, right? You don't until you have all the pieces. But in this very instance, right, you see that what is being portrayed isn't happening, right? And the call is real, and what was being done is not. Well, not only is it illegal, it's wrong, it's morally wrong, it's illegal, it's all the bads, right? At that point, you have to pull the plug. That's just, you have to pull the plug.
Number, help, tell me, 2027.
Yeah, he fucking calls a SWAT attempt on him, so he self-swats himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm actually so baffled away at what I've seen, okay? It's one of the reasons why I'm completely awake right now, because this kind of stuff got to a point where it really triggered deep web browsing for me, okay? I've seen a lot of wild stuff on there. Whenever I search up, dark rabbit holes, or I research the drug war in Mexico, I come across really violent footage. Tonight, I almost saw a snuff video live on kick.com. But we'll get to a lot of that just a little bit later. He basically puts himself and
Bro, what is wrong with this guy? Why pull up on the most content kick? Bro, what is wrong with you, man? Bro, the content was fine until you involve law enforcement on a fake call for content. What is wrong with you, dude? What is wrong with you? At that point, what means not wrong? At that point, like, what is wrong with you?
People around him, that security guard, other people in the hotel in serious danger. Because what he's done is he's called up a dispatcher, told him that there is a gun to his head. So now imagine you're on...
Calling something content simply based off of the seriousness is a rabbit hole you're chasing that doesn't lead anywhere, okay? Because something is wrong, shouldn't be done, and you think it's content because, because it shouldn't be done. Bro, it's like delinquent dog. You're just stupid.
On the other side of the call, okay? You're a dispatcher, you're with the Miami police. They're assuming that there is an active shooter in the area, okay? There is an active shooter in the situation. And when the law enforcement pulls up, they clear the room, they're there, ready to take down anybody. And as FouseyTube was going to answer the door, I nearly shit myself.
It's content, I get it. You think it's content regardless of what you think. You don't understand. Whenever there's shit with the police and shit like that, it's serious, okay? And sometimes even the platform can be held liable for this shit. There's an understanding of good faith. They have to fucking pull the plug regardless. They have to. It's not up to him or the content. It's just something that happens.
Because this could have gotten bad in so many ways. Fousey was not a simple subject at all, too. He even started escalating it when law enforcement got in his face. Listen to this.
I literally told him, if I see you, I'm sticking a knife 9 inches in your neck and I'm sliding it down your penis. He gave me his address.
And how does he know where you're staying at?
I don't, he's a stalker.
Okay, and who is this guy?
I don't know.
So how do you want us to look for him if you don't know where he's
I have his address.
What is his address?
I said grab my security 20 minutes ago. You guys are dumb as f***. You guys are literally dumb as f***.
All right.
Oh, y'all. Hey, record this. Security, come in here now.
They told me to stay outside. I can't come inside.
Yo, for my protection, come in here.
I can't come inside.
He can't come in?
This is just...
Y'all I'm suing all y'all. My life is in danger and you arrest a Palestinian Muslim who's viral? Are y'all dumb or are you stupid?
I love how he played.
Okay.
Muslim who's
Chat.
viral?
I think everybody is going to understand, okay, that I don't think there's any protected classes that should allow you to do any of those things in an instance, okay? It said 3 titles, none of them exempt you from being arrested if you're committing a crime, okay? I don't think there's any classes that or anything that does that, but anyway.
Are y'all dumb or are you stupid?
I love how we play the race card in this situation when the law enforcement did the best that they can in this situation. Screaming, escalating, and telling them there's a stalker hunting you down. These cops have no idea what's going on. They were called into a shooter threat, and now they've realized they're coming up against somebody with the ego the size of Texas. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the best case scenario. Nobody died. And this put to ease so much of my stress and anxiety tonight as I was watching this kick stream, because I thought somebody was going to die. Now, as much as I dislike FouseyTube over the airport incident that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I don't like seeing people die or in this situation, period, okay? Underneath my fucked up exterior, there is an empathetic core. Now, this situation involved with Fousey.
That empathy also applies to more people than just Fousey, though. A lot of times when there's big police operations, okay, if things escalate, it can hurt other people that are not a part of it. Guys, when things get crazy, okay, it puts everybody at risk and people that didn't ask for any of that either. Okay, so it's very important to understand that.
It puts them into what I understand false reporting to 911 systems because of that fake SWAT call. Okay, that's not legal. Now, from what I understand, this could be up to a year in prison, and I believe he was smoking weed earlier too. So marijuana, as far as I understand, is illegal in the state of Florida. You could probably still smell it in the hotel room, but hey, this is a good thing ultimately. FouseyTube is the kind of guy that's never been told no in his life, and he pretty much is the most egotistical individual out there. And it takes a swift slap from the system, like the law enforcement over here, where if he is getting a court date, which I think he is, since he may be getting charged, I don't know. We'll find out more on the Wednesday or the day after.
They will not.
That means he's pretty much tied up in the state of Miami. He could bail himself out, but he's pretty much tied there.
Bro,
and if he has to serve...
Bro, any judge worth their fucking paycheck, okay, this would ultimately, it would get dismissed. They wouldn't go for that, okay? Somebody in that state, they see what's going on, whatever the fuck, right? To go hard on the actual thing itself. It's like, dude, come on now.
Serve some time.
You would understand it. You get it, okay, guys. When there's a lot of components and a lot of context or something, okay. Sometimes there's leniency. Dude, a lot of pictures get dismissed. It's just how it is. What is all this shit?
Or actually end up with some serious charges, then that's ultimately a good thing in this situation. This is the kind of guy that needs actual legal law enforcement intervention.
Oh man, this chat knows.
Otherwise,
so
he continues to be a danger to him and the people around him. Could you imagine how bad this could have gone had he just started screaming from beyond the door?
Right.
Had he opened the door with something in his hand and Miami police, without even thinking, pulled out their gun? I mean, how can you think? You've seen me play video games like Ready or Not or SWAT 4. You've seen enough police footage.
Yes, there's footage, chat. And we've watched police stuff all the time. You guys see people, dude, that they get arrested and they go crazy and they go wild and their mental gets on fire, right? And they'll kick a police or they'll slap them on the side or they're gonna hurt them. And they initially charge them with battery on a police officer or whatever the fuck, right? And when it's time to get them charged or they go to trial, whatever, or a judge goes through it, they get dismissed and they remove the charges entirely. Why? Because they get it. They understand the scenario that's going on. They understand what's going on with the charges, and they have a human with their head that puts all into the play, and they get it, and they sometimes remove the charges. Not always, of course. A lot of times, if they know what they're doing, they remove some of the charges. It's what happens. It is what it is.
Channels like Donut Operator, where cops have a split-second, timing window to actually make quick decisions. And Fousey, in his state, could have ended up potentially dead tonight. But thankfully, because of the proper actions by law enforcement agencies, he is arrested, and hopefully he gets a swift slap on his face and comes out of this just fine. This is where I want to lead to the end of the video, where I think the problem is not just Fousey, but the community as well.
It seemed to me that it was more about health.
To this kick chat real quick, And one thing ended up actually screwing with me a little bit. Shame he got arrested. Who would have thought an unmedicated man would be the dopest content? Why is it that this is content that is okay? For instance, the fact that this stream even happened in the first place without kick...
He's waffling. He wasn't going to get shot. The cops seemed somewhat calm. You have absolutely no idea how that works, okay? Listen, I don't mean to be the guy who knows more than you do, okay? But I've been wellness checked and swatted more times than I could even fucking tell you, okay? These things can escalate in a matter of an instant. You've seen me live on camera be wellness checked on at fucking gunpoint in the dark, okay? Shit can get crazy really fucking fast. Okay, you don't know how that works.
.com intervening and shutting it down is a bit disgusting to speak of. But the other thing that's wild is as Fousey was arrested, Kick.com's social media platform literally tweeted out hashtag free Fousey. As if it was a giant joke.
That was odd.
And speaking of Kick, FouseyTube was basically flexing some $15 million deal that blew up into a $77 million deal throughout the course of 2 weeks when he was in Vegas and Miami. So it almost felt like Kick.com and the people running...
Sometimes things escalate into a meme, and in the meme, people lose track of what was made before the meme, and it does like that. I don't think it's a big problem, okay? It sucks, okay, but it's fine.
The website, we're just fucking stringing this guy along anyways, using his manic state for free content and promotion on the platform.
Bad.
Because at the end of the day, if you want to be real about it, he was in fact the largest streamer on the platform. Everyone else was like maybe a seventh of his view count, period. Now again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not content that I really think should be rewarded. FouseyTube is a danger to the people around him. Hell, just looking at how he treats the autopilot function on a fucking Tesla where he puts 2 feet up in the air and forgets to drive the vehicle while using autopilot assist is just a showcase as to how stupid this individual...
You can make a bunch of same thing. Guys, the same things apply to YouTube and other platforms. Okay, it is what it is. I mean... just back in the days, or even some of the ICE stuff, like, you get how it is. Like,
individual really is. But what he did literally tonight is just the
cherry on the cake. You get it though.
Of some of the most insane shit I've ever seen in the influencer camp. Period. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you let clout go too far. The quest for clout is too fucking far. You know, this could have been a situation that, you know, could have went from
content does go too far,
stopping and de-escalating the situation as they did, to an actual live snuff film recorded on Kick.com in 4K 60 frames per second. Wild, wild shit indeed. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the video right over here. A lot to say, a lot to process.
You defend what you're biased with, trash talk. That's not even true though. I really cooked Fousey in my reaction, and also didn't cook him. It's just called like making a correct analysis. It's just not like, well, he's in the wrong, so I'm gonna shun him for everything because people will back me up, and I'm gonna look socially ahead. Shut up. It's like cringe, man.
I'm out. Wild.
Like, I always defend and attack everybody based on the point that needs to be attacked or defended on. Because if you make guys never do this on this and that, right? What do you think happens later down the line? Right? Same scenario happens, but the person is correct. Then you back up the behavior now? Because now you have to, because now it's okay. No, dude, some things are never okay. Some things are always okay. You just have to defend and attack things based on what they actually are. You know?
Welcome me to the jungle, I just had a baby.
The quest for content went too far. Shit should have stopped. Done. That's it. What is this?
Who is he talking to, lol W?
My PD tells TMZ cops did not arrest Fousey, but determined he needed to be brought to the hospital on mental health evaluation. Source to the situation does not being victim of conscious harassment, threats, sweating, thinking it's stolen. Yeah, like I said, I think that makes a lot of sense. If they deem that the person needs help and whatever was happening was a result of that, they won't.
Out here happy.
Yes, they can enforce the law to the maximum, right? Sometimes they can put their head on their shoulders and say, wow, man, yeah, maybe there was a lot of things at play here and things are kind of odd, right? And maybe he actually needs help. Instead of punishing him for it, let's try to get him the help that he needs for it. And that's the right thing to do. But you can say, but dude, that's a crime, should go to jail by now. Okay, whether that's a crime or not is it's up to your interpretation. The way it's enforced is up to them. They want to do it like that. That's entirely okay. And your opinion on that is fucking irrelevant. Like, look at this guy. He doesn't. Not every crime will be enforced full. Why? Because they just don't have to sometimes. There's intent, there's context, there's scenarios, there's things that are more elaborate than you can understand. Dumbass fuck. So dumb. Dumb Andy.